everyone, welcome to my kitchen. I'm Chef D, and today we are making a beautiful summer salsa because it is literally the middle of the summer and I am so excited about all of the things that are in season right now. As you can see, I have some beautiful corn here. One of them I've already shucked so we can get ready to cut that into our bowl. We've also got some peaches here. These are so in season right now. You can tell when you buy them, they smell so fragrant, so good. I've also got some cherry tomatoes, something else that is very in season. And then I've got some things to flavor our salsa. We have some scallions. You could certainly use red onion if you wanted to use that, or even shallot. I also have jalapenos. These are very in season right now. In fact, I have a couple growing right out in my backyard and they're almost ready to go. And then I've got a couple leaves of basil. This is from my garden. My basil is flourishing right now. Again, it's something that's very abundant in the summertime. And then I've got a lime that I'm gonna juice and zest. I've got some honey, I've got some olive oil, and if you wanted to add a little bit of salt and pepper, you could do that as well. So let's go ahead and get this salsa together. It comes together very quickly. We just need to go ahead and cut up all of the ingredients and pop them in our bowl. First off, we're gonna start with our lime. So I am zesting the lime first. That's really important. If you've ever tried to zest it after you've cut it, it's kind of difficult. So I'm gonna go ahead and zest a lime. I'm gonna encourage you to zest the entire lime, as much as you can get off of this lime. The zest is actually where the flavor is. And I'm gonna go ahead and give this a little bit of a roll. This helps to break up the fibers in your citrus. So if you ever get your limes or lemons right out of the refrigerator, you'll know that they're kind of hard. And then when you go ahead and cut them open and you try to get all the juice out, they're very stiff and oftentimes aren't as juicy. So this is a great way to get every single bit of your money's worth. And then I'm gonna go ahead and use my citrus squeezer. This thing I use regularly. We'll add in about a teaspoon of honey. This is just regular honey. You don't have to add honey, but this just kind of balances out that acidity from the lime. So I tend to add just kind of a touch of it, about a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon. Then I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of olive oil, and that gives it a little extra flavor. If you were adding salt, you would add that now. I'm going to omit that just because I want to keep this kind of low sodium. Now we're going to go ahead and cut our corn. This is one of my favorite things to do because corn is so abundant in the summertime. It's so fresh, it's so crunchy, so sweet. There's really nothing like it. So could you use frozen corn or even canned corn for this? Absolutely. You just won't get the texture and you really won't get the sweet that you'll get from fresh corn. So I've already shucked this, taken all the silk off and washed it because I'm gonna go ahead and put that right into my bowl, and I'm going to carefully run my knife down the side and get these kernels right off of this corn cob. You really can't get any more fresh than this. I mean, this is one of the easiest things you can do to add flavor and texture to your food. Now, one of the reasons I add in the corn in the beginning with the dressing essentially is because it is so highly acidic. It's got all that lime juice in it. I want the corn to get in there and actually spend a little bit of time in that acid because that acid will actually start to break down the corn. If you've ever had ceviche, you can put fish in lime juice and it kind of cooks it down. This is kind of similar with this corn. So to ensure that you don't get corn that's too starchy, this is a way to kind of start to break that down. Then I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of my ingredients together. The first thing I'm gonna do is get my scallion cut up. And this you wanna kind of slice small. I'll move this so you can see. You want this to be like if you think about a salsa that you might have with tortilla chips, for example, which, by the way, this is a great recipe to be able to make and then serve with tortilla chips as an appetizer. So you want to be sure that the scallion is cut really small. So now we've probably got about 1/3 of a cup of scallions, and go ahead and pop those right in to the bowl. And again, if you think about the things that you kind of want to marinate early on with the salsa, something that you kind of want to break down a little bit, scallions and onions can sometimes be a little bit pungent. So this is a great way, again, to start breaking that down right away. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut up some cherry tomatoes. So these are pretty small, but again, remember that you want this to kind of mimic a salsa, right? Something that can be placed on a chip or put as a side maybe for one of your proteins. So you want those to be cut up kind of small. So even though these cherry tomatoes are pretty tiny, I have some that are a little bit large, but these ones are very tiny. You still want to go ahead and give them a little bit of a rough cut. I'm cutting mine in fourths. I'm holding them kind of on their side, and then I'm cutting in half, and then I'm flipping them and then holding them together with my thumb and my 2 fingers. So that's really kind of a safe way that you can get these tomatoes cut up. And I think we've got a good amount of tomatoes that we'll mix in here. And look at how beautiful this already looks just with the tomatoes and the corn. I mean, is that stunning or what? I am then going to add kind of the star of the show here, and that's the peaches. And I will say that when you add your honey in, you might find that you need to add a little bit more if your peaches aren't very ripe. Peaches for me here in North Carolina are very ripe. As you can see, I'm twisting and it just, comes apart so easily. And that's one of the ways you know that your peach is very ripe. So I'm going to take that pit out. I'm going to set one of those aside, and we're going to go ahead and dice this peach just so that we again have small pieces. I like to slice the peach very carefully into kind of the thickness that I want. Usually ends up being about 3 cuts. And then I'm going to go ahead and stack these together, kind of like what I would do with any vegetable, right? Kind of stack them and then slice them. I think about this when I'm doing zucchini, for example. I usually slice them and then I kind of stack them and I might dice them up. And then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to slice down the other way. So we are going to go ahead and carefully get those into our bowl. So peach salsa, summer salsa like this, is one of the best ways to use all of the incredible ingredients that are in abundance at the farmer's market. When you eat fresh, local food, you're never going to want to go back. So I'm a huge advocate of the farmer's market. And if you're not a farmer's market shopper, I highly recommend it, especially if you're going to make a salsa like this. The last couple of ingredients that we want to go ahead and put in there, one of them is a jalapeno. And this is completely optional. Again, jalapenos are very much in season right now. And so this is a great ingredient to get at the farmer's market, and it really adds a lot of extra flavor. You can see that I've made a few rings, and I'm actually going to try to stack them on top of each other and slice down, making, again, kind of those long, thin julienne pieces, and then kind of stack them together and cut the other way with my knife. And you can kind of cut this like you would garlic. If the jalapeno is spicy, you usually can kind of smell it when you start to cut it open. You can actually remove this white part, which is kind of the pith of the jalapeno, and that will make it less spicy. Jalapeno is a really great addition to this salsa because you've got all of this sweet from the corn and the peaches, even those tomatoes because they're so fresh. And so that jalapeno just kind of gives it a little bit of a kick, and it's a perfect addition. Okay, the last thing we're gonna add is a couple leaves of basil. And I mentioned earlier, this came right from my garden, so really no need to wash it or do anything to it other than just take the leaves. I'm gonna show you how to chiffonade these leaves. This is a great way to just make these beautiful ribbons. So what you wanna do is you wanna take these and stack the leaves. Obviously, if you had, 10 leaves, you could stack all 10. I've only got 2. And then I'm going to go ahead and roll those together, kind of like if you've ever made a cigar. If you've ever gone to Cuba or someplace where they make cigars, they kind of roll it together like this. And then I'm taking my knife and I'm just gently and carefully watching my fingers, making little slices right across that rolled piece of basil. And look at this. Look at how beautiful these little chiffonade shreds come together. I'll go ahead and get those into my salsa. This basil just complements tomatoes and peaches and corn so well. So I'm going to give that a quick stir. If you make a dish like this, tasting it is so key. This will determine if you need to add more honey, add some salt, maybe some pepper, maybe even a little bit of extra jalapeno if you like spicy. So sweet, so crunchy, so fresh. It needs absolutely nothing. It is perfect just the way it is. So now that our salsa is done, I want to talk to you a little bit about what to pair this with. So I mentioned earlier, you can of course serve it just like this at a party or as an appetizer, and serve it with tortilla chips and you have yourself a beautiful salsa with chips. You can also serve this with a protein. I'm going to show you these beautiful pork chops that I got from the chop shop here in Charlotte. They have some of the best meat because it is locally sourced and it's very high quality. So what I would recommend for this is I would go ahead and get a little salsa on your plate. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab one of these beautifully cooked pork chops. And there you have it. A beautiful pan-seared pork chop with a colorful, flavorful, healthy, and delicious summer salsa that's made in less than 10 minutes. This is the salsa that you want to make.